You are now watching Real Talk with Slapstick on Slapstick TV. Now it's time for our very special friend, Michael Coylar, here on Slapstick TV.
This is the Martin Chair for Slapstick TV, and we're sitting here with the funniest comedian in the game. One of the most legendary, to me, one of the kings of comedy, Mr. Michael Coylar. How's it going there, sir?
Oh man, it's blessed, man. Highly favored. If it's going better, I couldn't stand it, brother.
That's what's going down. But we got a lot of people that listen to the show each and every week. Could you just describe a typical day in a busy life of Mr. Michael Coylar?
Ooh wee, it's pretty busy indeed. I'm doing a new movie and I'm about to release a poetry book and a documentary. So I get up every day doing the work first. First I get on my internet and find out what's the newest and the hottest thing going on. I always like to start the day by reading 5 newspapers, and I don't read the whole paper, don't get me wrong. I peruse the paper. I look through and see if there's anything that relates to me and mine, because I love black people. And I mean, they're my favorite people in the whole wide world. And so I always want to check out what's going on in the community, and I always want to check out what's going on with my president, who we need to show our love for. We need to support. We need to rise up. So if anything came up overnight, I don't want to miss that. So I get on top of that first. Once I know what's going on with the day, then I start my day. But I always start my day with prayer. I think that our first responsibility every morning is to commune with the higher source. So I always start with prayer. Well, I brush my teeth first because I don't like to talk to God with a dirty mouth. So after I brush my teeth, then I do my prayer. I don't talk to my wife until I pray, because then I have to, anyway. So I get up and I do my prayer. I talk to my queen, and I set my intention. And that's how I start each day. You gotta set your intentions. If you start your day out and you get up and you got a bad feeling, sometimes you got to inform your face that you're happy. You want to start out by setting your intention of joy, setting your intention of a positive, prosperous, loving day. If you start by setting that tone, then that's what you'll end up having. But if you just get up, you walk through the house, you kick your foot on something, now you mad at the dog. It really affects the entirety of your day. So like I say, to bag up, I start out with the prayer, hug my queen, I set the intentions for the day, then I get on the internet and I check out what's going on, I read the papers, I know what's going on. All that happens within the first hour, Then after that, I start making the calls. Who do I need to call? What I need to set up is, I'm out here on the road, I probably do 200 gigs, a year of performance. And in between that, I'm doing the documentaries, I'm working on the books, and now I do motivational speaking as well. I'm doing this thing called Michael Goes Motivational, which is motivational speaking from a comedic point of view. So I'm just writing that book out as well, and I'm about to shoot this new film with this wonderful cat, Fredro Starr from Onyx. That dude is great. So I'm working on that film, so I'm fixing my script so it works perfectly for me, and so it makes sense, and so I can do my part the best. So the typical day, man, I get up, study, look at what things I have to do, and I get going, man, get my work going, I like to call at least 3 people early in the day to say something wonderful and positive to them, pump them up, let them know that life is good and God is good, and we can do everything that we want to do. All we have to do is know that we want to do it. And I do that because I think when you give to others, you give to yourself. So I'm kind of selfish about the whole thing. I know that if I want to have anything, then I got to give it away. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to keep anything unless you give it away. And if you give all to all, you end up having more than you could, well, you wouldn't know where you could put all your shit, because you'd have so much stuff if you just remember to always give and give and give. So that's how I start my day. And typical day is just fun for me, man. Get up, get dressed, rock and roll, hang out with the people, have fun, and then I got a wonderful wife. She's amazing. She loves me and she likes me too, right. And so she done stuck with me for these actually been together 24 years, been married 22 years, and she stuck around with me as I made it through a 9.5-year crack addiction, and she gave me an opportunity to get to the other side of that and become the man I'm really supposed to be. And so I look a blessing, that's why I always start my day by talking to God, because God is the answer, and He's not the answer. You're asking the wrong questions. And so God has saved my raggedy black ass so many times that I don't start a day or think a thing without making God first. So, is that a long ass answer?
Man, that's
okay.
I'm motivated now. But by doing the comedy thing, and everybody know you from doing your thing, you just become legendary in this game. So what would you tell a young comedian that was coming up? How could they become legendary, and what would they need to do to get that reference that you have in the game?
Okay, well, first of all, others that say I'm legendary is not me saying that. Okay. Secondly, I don't think that that's something that you shoot for. I think what you shoot for is your own personal excellence. You know, our job is to unfold into our greater self, to be what we're here to be. I mean, we all have, there's only one curriculum in our life, and that is to know thyself. To find out who we're supposed to be, what it is we're supposed to do here on this planet. And a lot of times people never reach their highest goal because they settle for something else. You know, I just want radio ties, I just want to get cable, I just want me a DVR. But there's a greater thing that all of us are supposed to do. Everybody's supposed to do something. That's something you're supposed to do. And if you don't do that thing, it won't get done. Anybody else do that but you. But you don't know what it is. We don't start out by knowing what the definitive thing is. So a lot of people won't choose a thing. They just settle. The thing is to choose something right now that sets your heart on fire. Something that makes you passionate right now. And do that thing. I didn't know I was going to be a comedian. I thought I was going to be an actor, you know. So I started acting first, and that led me to the comedy. And then I'm thinking comedy was what I was really supposed to be doing, because that's where I've had my greatest success. But I'm being led to other things, motivational speaking. I'm being led to doing documentaries. I'm being led to being a greater humanitarian. So we don't know what the end goal is, and we don't have to know the end. All we have to do is really make excellent the now. We have to live in the now. Because it's like if you're driving down the street at night and you got the headlights on in your car. You can only see like 200 feet, but you know you're about to drive 3, 4, 5 miles, 10 miles. But you don't have to be able to see that whole 10 miles. All you do is be able to see that 200 feet of time. And as you get there, things will develop for you. I also like to equate it with like math. You know, with math, you really have to know your addition and your subtraction before you fool with multiplication, you know, and you really need to know your addition before your subtraction, because if you can't add it, you can't take it away. So once you know those two, then you can go into multiplication. And if you don't know those three, you can't fool with division. Now, if you don't know that kind of stuff and you jump right to algebra, you're gonna be in trouble because you've missed some steps. And life is about steps, and we evolve into those steps, you know. So you don't have to know what it is. Your ultimate thing is, all you have to know is what sets my heart on fire right now. What is I would love to do. I ask people all the time, what is your passion? You know, what is your passion? And when I say that, I'm saying if you could do anything in the whole wide world and people would love you for it, respect you for it, they see you come, oh man, here you come. They're excited about it, and then they pay you. Whatever you want, you know, and you work whatever you want to do it. One day, a week, one day, a month, whenever. This thing would make you so excited about life, you wouldn't need an alarm clock. You're so excited, you pop up in the morning, ready to go. You walk 35% faster. This thing will give your heart something extra to thrive about. What would that thing be? Then when you think of that thing, then you work towards that goal. And then once you get there, you're going to find out that that ain't even the thing. It's something greater than that. It's down the road. But you don't have to worry about what's way down there. You live in the now. You do what sets your heart on fire right now, you know? So you keep God first. You think about what's really exciting to you, what you really want to do right now, then you just work towards it a little bit a day. People always say to me, Mike, how can I start comedy? Well, the formula is the formula for anything you want to do in life, whether you want to do comedy or be an aerospace scientist. All you have to do is put in 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day on whatever you want to do. Let's say you decide you want to be a ballerina at this point in your life. Okay, 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week. You can take Saturday and Sunday off. I guarantee you within 3 months, you will be doing ballerina work. And when I say 15 minutes a day, you might spend 15 minutes a day on the internet studying great ballerinas. Or you may spend 15 minutes in a book or on the internet studying how to do ballet poses or exercise. You may spend 15 minutes a day at a school having a teacher show you the 5 basic steps of ballet and of poses, of how to hold your feet. Position 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, I did a little ballet, a little young. And so you do 15 minutes a day, and then you'll start expanding yourself. And by the first month, you'll start to get it. You'll start to understand it. You'll start to also know whether it's something you really want to do or not, or whether it really fits you or not. You know, there's a lot of people who started what they're doing very, very late in life, you know, and went on to be great genius. Picasso did his best work as an old guy, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they just start. Rodney, the guy who said, I don't get no respect. Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield wasn't shit as a comedian till he turned 52 years old. Before that, he had a different name. Comedy wasn't working for him. And then at 52, he changed his name to Rodney Dangerfield and put in this little routine. I don't get no respect. Blew up. So for the next 25 years, he was an amazing artist. So sometimes we don't get it till later. But all you have to do is just put it out there. What do you really want to do? Believe in it. Believe in yourself. And if you believe in yourself, then you're believing in God, because God rests within you. That's where God resides, in the center of your heart. So the truer you are to yourself, the easier it is to be yourself. So many people trying to be what they see on TV. TV ain't even new. Anything you watching on TV, even the news, that shit is old. If it's already on TV, it's already history. If it's on TV, other people already seen it and know it. It's not even new stuff. Be the fresh you, be the new you, and then you do whatever you want to do. Okay?
Now, being in the game, now what are some of your best times you had, some of the worst times you had? Whether it be the road, whether it be shooting a movie?
I'm gonna start with my only worst times, because I haven't had many worst times. My worst times been when I was out here fooling around with drugs. When I was out there getting high, I've messed up amazing opportunities. Which is another reason I'm anti-drug. I think people should not do it. People say, yeah, that's fine for you. You'd have had your food, but no. I'm saying it because I've also danced the dance. I've danced in the fire, and what happens is it throws off what you're really meant to do. So you end up wilding away a lot of time and money and energy and feelings and emotions doing something that you find out later is hollow. At the end of the day, you'd have wasted all that time. I know meetings that I've missed that I would have gone to if I wasn't high. I know meetings that I've gone to where I didn't know that I would look high, and I did. I'm there sweating like R. Kelly in the playground, eyes rolling all around my head, and I'm sitting here thinking I'm at a meeting, and they sitting here thinking, don't that fool know that he looks like he looks? I know I've blown opportunities doing that. I know I've blown opportunities because I just didn't bother to go. Because when you're out there in the street doing all of that stuff you shouldn't be doing, you don't want to get up the next morning. You too tired and out of it to go do what you're supposed to do. So that's the only worst part I had. Anything I've done actually as an artist, I've never had bad times at it. Everything as an artist has just been a joy for me. It's expanded me. It's taught me. It's excited me. I had so many great times performing. I loved Star Search when I did it 1,000 years ago, and I loved it because of the challenge. That I was challenging another comedian. I think about the Cat Williams, Steve Harvey thing, where they got up and sort of like had a little comedy beef. And what's really deep about that is Cat Williams had talked to me about that ideal in his home a year earlier. Matter of fact, it was on a Thanksgiving, and it wasn't supposed to go like that. It really was a bright idea, an idea that can still work if people really get the gist of it. But his whole ideal was to create like a boxing match for comedians. People ain't mad at two boxers when they beef with each other and then they box and they go about their business. That's how it's supposed to be. It was supposed to be good nature. It's supposed to be, it's me and Steve Harvey, and I'm like, man, let me tell you, in early comedy, you had Alan and Bob Hope. They would always compete with each other. Jack Benny and Bob Hope, they would always compete with each other, but they were joking. They were playing. You know what I'm saying? They out talking stuff, then they get on stage and, you're not really this funny, and say stuff about each other. It was that kind of energy it was supposed to be. When I'm funny than you, you funny than me. It wasn't supposed to go personal. It wasn't supposed to be ad hominem. It's supposed to be two guys who saying I'm funny than you and you funny than me and you ain't that funny, you ain't never been that funny. Then you get up and you both do your best comedy and see who's the best. You shake hands and you walk it off. Something happened and that thing turned wrong. It became personal. And so it wasn't fun. So it didn't work. But I think it's a brilliant idea to once a month commit to the top comics who claims they're both the greatest and bring them into the audience. Let them perform one at a time, not attacking each other, but perform their best stuff and let the audience say who the baddest is. That's cold. That's a cold situation. But I am never here to compete with people. I'm only here to compete with me. I don't need to be better than Steve Harvey. I don't need to be better than Cat Williams. I just need to be better than me. I just need to be better than Michael Coylar. So if every day I can go out and keep trying to be a better me, then that's all I need to achieve. That's all I need to accomplish. Though I'd like to get some of that money. Don't get me wrong. Money, my money ain't God. But It's pretty close. I mean, you can't buy no friends, but I guarantee you can rent some. Okay, so I mean, money really is the lubrication of life, you know. And when you got enough money, you can relax a little bit more, you know. People say, well, more money is more trouble. I'll take the trouble. I'll take the problems. Give me the $50 million they gave Dave Chappelle. I guarantee you, I will not be stressed out about it. Hell, I spend $10 million to other people to let them handle my stress, and I'm spending that other 40 shopping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not melting down. Give me my money, you know. But I never got my money yet. But I wasn't ready for it. If I had it earlier, oh man, I'd fucked it off. I'd have messed it up. I'd have done something terrible with it. I'd already be dead or something, you know. But now is my time. Oh, I'm here now. I'm coming to get it now, man. Oh, I'm about to get it. Barrels of money, you know. And I really want more money so that I can help more people. That's what I really want to do. I'd love to help people. I'd love to help the homeless. I'd love for someone to truly find a cure to AIDS. You know, I love someone to really find a cure to Alzheimer's disease. You know, when your parents and your grandparents who you've loved all your lives, man, taking care of you and raised you and wiped your nasty ass and fed you, and then they get to a point where they don't know where they are, you know, and they can't clean themselves. That's a terrible thing.
And my grandfather went all the way back to a kid, like an actual kid.
Exactly.
My grandma had to give him an actual lollipop to make him like be quiet. So, yeah.
See, and when we can reverse that, now we're doing something. You know, I remember the guys who created what was it? It was a husband and wife team, Marie Carey and her Dr. Carey. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. What I do remember is when they came up with their cure, they was like, well, are you going to make the patent? How much is the patent? He was like, there's never going to be a patent. I'm never going to sell this. When you do something like that for society, you give that away. You know, I mean, of course, he could be a filthy, filthy rich, but you give that away because some things we're supposed to give. You know, that's what I try to do with my comedy. I'm trying to give. Comedy is healing, you know, and I'm trying to heal people. I'm trying to change the world with it. And it's a lot of times people don't want to hear the comedy I'm talking about because they're like, man, if I want a lecture, I go to a lecture hall, you know. But my comedy is conscious comedy. I was doing conscious comedy way before my friend Paul Mooney was using that term or anybody else was claiming they're doing conscious comedy. I was doing conscious comedy. Comedy makes you think and feel as well as laugh. I was talking about safe sex in '86 when we first figured out what AIDS was. You know, I was talking about racism and the drug addiction and my own addiction and using those things as tools to help other people not do the same walk, not go through the same stuff that I went through. If I can heal you, then I'm healing me, you know, and my job really is to become a better me, you know, and that's what I want to do. And if I can give it to you and that's going to give it to me, man, we jamming, you know.
Okay, now, let me just ask you a question to take you away from comedy for a second. And with the NFL having their problems with their lockout and NBA having their problems with their lockout, what would you ever do if there was ever a comedy lockout?
That's a difficult question because I can't imagine it being a comedy lockout. I mean, unless a Hitler-like figure came into society and banned laughter, you know, which I can't imagine that happening. But I guess my ultimate answer would be, I'd do something else. That's all. You know, I won't be locked into it. I was telling a story earlier about Steve Harvey, how he had said to me years ago, I said, Steve, what are you going to do with comedy? And he said, man, this ain't all I'm going to do. He said, in 4 years, I don't expect to be in comedy. And like I said, I thought he was riding his ego, but he wasn't. He was riding his vision. And he knew that there's so much more to us, to all humans, than just one thing. And now we see he's doing everything. The dude is doing radio. He's doing television game show. He's doing the Hoodie Awards. He's doing concerts. He's doing books, you know, films. You know, he's spread himself out in 6 or 7 different directions. And he could probably quit either one of those or all of them except one and still make the kind of money he's making. So if there was a comedy lockout, then I'd do drama, you know, or shit, I'd dance. You know, or I'd wait table. Oh, I'm a waiting table food. Let me tell you something. I can wait some damn tables now. Or I swear to God, I can wait some tables. When I first started doing comedy, and I came to Los Angeles, and I couldn't find a place that would pay me, I went to a restaurant. The restaurant I met my wife at. I went to this restaurant, and I said, look, y'all don't even have to pay me. You don't give me no check. Just give me 3 tables. I will make my money off the tips. and guarantee I'm gonna make more money than anybody because I know how to talk shit and I know how to serve a table. You know what I'm saying? If you can wait tables, I suggest you wait tables. No matter what else you want to do in life, learn to wait tables. Because once you can wait tables, you can work anywhere. And you can work in any city. As long as you understand the menu, you show up and go to a restaurant and you make all your money right now. They give you them tips. You got your cash right there. So as an artist, if my artistry fails, I'll go up right down the street, walk across the street right now and get somebody to hire me as a waiter, you know, and then I could just work while on the side. I got plenty of my own time then. I can still do what I really want to do, what my heart desires, what my true gift would be, you know. So if it was a comedy lockout, yeah, I'd probably wait tables first while I'm figuring out what I really want to do. But whatever I would do, I would be successful at it because I know it's about God first. And if I keep God first and I'm rolling with the master, as long as I have my right mind, I can do anything.
And we know you got a lot to do left in this comedy game. A lot left to do.
And I'm just starting. I swear to God, I'm just scratching the surface. And like I say, I hate to keep mentioning this goddamn Steve Harvey. But Steve Harvey inspires me, you know, because he's doing so much different stuff and succeeding at it. And it reminds me that we don't have to do one thing. It's a lot we can do. So this just scratches the surface of me. Oh, I got so much I'm doing. Go ahead.
Well, with so much left to do, before you hang up the mic, what is the one thing you have on your comedy bucket list?
Oh, the comedy bucket list. Well, you know, I would really like to work Carnegie Hall. I'd love to do a comedy concert at Comedy Hall. At Carnegie. It's pronounced Carnegie. The Carnegie Hall. I'd love to do that. I'm definitely going to do a one-man show on Broadway. No one's gonna stop me. I'm definitely doing that. Every time I watch a Broadway show, it just reminds me I have to do my one-man show on Broadway. I absolutely have to have my own talk show again. When I had my own talk show, it was the best thing I'd ever done in this game. Ever. Up until that, work in Venice Beach was the best thing I ever did with street performance. But when I did talk show on BET, it was so natural, it was like breathing. I didn't have to think about it. I could just sit there and roll with no matter who the artists were, and I knew how to introduce people. I knew how to set up the next segment of the show. It was just absolutely perfect. I do love acting, so I'm going to do a lot more film and television, but before I hang up the hat for the comedy game, I really need to do those things. I really want to perform with just all of the greatest working comics, and the greatest ones are the ones who are behind me, who aren't even here yet. The guys who are still coming, like we mentioned Tony Roberts. That guy is amazing. Y'all ain't really seen the best of Rodney Perry yet. Rodney Perry is really something special. There's young folks that's coming up every day that I'm seeing that have that glimmer and that energy to take us to the next level, to make us think about it, you know, to make us want to do more and be better artists, you know. So I want to be able to work with them, you know, long before I'm an old guy, you know, and I refuse to get old, you know. I've been the same age for like 20 years. I'm like Dorian Gray. I ain't going nowhere, dude. I'm gonna be right here.
Now, if there was one person that was influential to you, that you can sit down and have lunch and dinner with, in their past or present, who would that be, and what questions would you ask them?
I mean, I did now, but I gotta use someone who's already dead.
If
I can answer that,
yeah.
If it was someone, it would be people who are dead. There's 4 comics that meant the world to my evolution as a comedian, and that's Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, and Lenny Bruce. You know, any one of those 4 that I could talk to, sit down with, would just absolutely change my life. Now, the only one living is Eddie Murphy, and I just think that Eddie Murphy is the most unsung artist that there is. I mean, he is such a bad motherfucker. He is such an awesome being. As a comedian, as an actor, and what he's done in this industry is out of this world. And, you know, people, they overlook him, they don't give him the right respect. That dude is amazing. Eddie Murphy is the reason that I got into comedy. You know, I was acting before I started watching Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy, when I started, Eddie Murphy was, man, wow, everything. Eddie Murphy at the time was the hottest cat on the hottest television show on television, which was Saturday Night Live. He had the hottest comedy concert film called Raw. He had the hottest comedy concerts going. He had the hottest movie, which was Beverly Hills Cop. And he was young. And women loved him. He was making more money than Van Camp's got pork and beans. And he did all of that from just being funny. That was the reason I had to do it. That was the reason I had to do comedy. I was like, oh, I got to learn some damn jokes. And I ran right out and bought me some Red Fox albums and started learning jokes because of Eddie Murphy and all that he could do. And then, I'm talking, that's 24 years ago. And he's still killing them in every form. And he does it quietly, and he does it on his own terms. Oh yeah, a dinner with Eddie Murphy, that would be it for me. That would be the catch. I would think that I died and went to heaven. You know, that would be great.
And before we get out of here, one question. Tell the people who's watching the TV show one thing you normally don't tell people about yourself.
Well, I'm hung like a horse. Oh no, that you don't mean that. Let me see. I don't know. There's so much about me that I don't tell folks. I always talk about my cooking because I love cooking collard greens. What don't I tell the people?
I'm pretty sure there's somebody that can appreciate good collard greens.
Oh yeah, I'm a collard green cooking food, you know, and I don't talk enough about my mother. I talk about my mom a lot, but if I could talk about it, I would talk about my mom, who's my hero, my superhero, you know, and I encourage everybody to give more respect to their mothers. You know, if you got your mother alive today, you are living an amazing blessing. You may not realize. A lot of us, we don't miss the water till the well is dry. But your mama believed in you before you believed in your own punk ass. Your mama believed in you, was willing to wash your nasty ass and raise you and do everything, and she'll stand by you no matter what. I'm not talking about, you know, little stuff. I'm talking about everything. You know, you got people out there who say they your ride or die, you know, but get in some trouble and see if you can find their ass. Your mama, and you can kill somebody, and your mama will be right there. I'm not talking about blacks. I'm talking about cut a person up in million little pieces, make a lampshade out their backbone. Your mama will be the one who will be sitting in the court with your crazy ass. She hold the Bible, go, oh, that's my baby. My baby didn't do, you don't know my baby. You know, my mother was, and she was fearless. She was 5'1" and fearless. She would fight my father. My father was 6'2", and I didn't say they would fight. She would fight my father. He'd have to hold her. And she was the gentlest, nicest lady. But she wouldn't take no shit off my father. She would go straight off. But she was afraid of escalators. She didn't like no escalator. She didn't understand stairs that moved. She didn't get that whole concept. You know, if it was escalators, she was going down by elevator or stairs. She'd slide down a fucking rope before she get on an escalator. But I think probably the thing is I probably don't talk about enough or say to the public is that everything really is about family and God. You know, I think your family's everything. You know, I got brothers, they ain't shit, but I love them. Every one of my brothers, you know, and even if they act out or don't act right, they're my family. And I think that was part of what my parents taught us. You know, I think part of what our parents taught us is we're supposed to look out for each other. We're supposed to take care of each other no matter what happens. And I think that's so important. Parents are so important. And when you see shit kids, follow them home and see who opened the door. A shit parent. You know what I'm saying? If we have good parents, that's one thing I give white folks credit for. I give them credit for a lot of shit. But the one thing I really give them credit for is that they encourage their children early. Really, really early. You know, like a little black boy beating on stuff. The parents say, you better quit hitting on that damn table, Billy. White parents say, oh, look at Billy, he's gonna be a drummer. You know, and little white black kids jump all around, break dancing, doing their stuff. Man, why don't you knock off all that noise? White kid, look at Shirley, she's gonna be a ballerina. You know, and so they encourage their kids at 3, 4, 5. So if they see they like something, then they put them in a school for it, or stay on them, or encourage them, or go buy them that violin or secondhand drums, and encourage them to do it. Even if they put them out in the backyard or in the garage, they encourage them to do it. So then by the time they're 11 and 12, they're already good at their shit. By the time they're 16, they have careers. You know, my thing, I didn't even start doing stuff till I was 28. Because I didn't have folks telling me, you can do this, you can be the star, you can do, I didn't know that kind of stuff. I was mostly just running around doing my own thing. By the time I realized that someone would take me serious at it, I was 28, man. Imagine if I had started doing comedy when I was 16 or 17, like Eddie Murphy started like 17. If at 17 I started, oh man, right now I'd be rich enough to pee cream. So I think, and the encouragement, I think family, I think that I don't talk much about it, but family is the most important thing in the whole wide world, and outside the world and inside the world is God. God is so, I can't say enough about it. And it's funny, we was downstairs, all of us was downstairs, and the lady asked me, do I do Christian comedy? And in all honesty, I said, what is that? I had no idea what they mean by Christian comedy. There's some people who do clean comedy, and they mention Christ a couple of times, but is that Christian comedy? Like I said, I cuss my ass off, but I talk about God all the time. I love God. God is my all. Anyone who knows me and don't understand that I am about God, that have a personal relationship with God, that I'm willing to die for God. I love God more than I love me, and I love Michael motherfucking Coylar. So I love God more than that, but we only are what we are, the essence of who we are right here, and we're connected to God. So although we're only what we are, we're also connected to a higher source. And if we use that as our guidance, we keep family and God first, we can do anything we want to do, anything our hearts desire. There are no limitations. Your own imagination is your greatest limitation. You can go as far as you think you can go. And I watch it in people all the time, from the Steve Harveys who do everything, to this little white girl I've been watching lately singing opera. She's a little bitty white girl, she's 11, and she opens her mouth and it reverberates the whole room. And she's just gentle about it. It's not like she's forceful. She just opens her mouth and you go, oh my God, what is this? And we see superhuman humans all the time. People who are ordinary doing extraordinary things. And the difference in them and I is that they imagined it. They believed in it. They believed in themselves, and they didn't listen to the naysayers who told them they couldn't do it. They told Alexander Graham Bell that he couldn't invent a telephone. They called him and told him, and so don't listen to people, man. Listen to your own heart. That's where God resides. Listen to your own spirit, and them parents, them relatives that look over you and guide you. I want to tell a quick story before we get out of here, because I wear this fabulous ring and with this cross, and this is was given to me. It's a little set, fabulous little set. It was given to me by my bishop, one of my bishops, because my main spiritual leader is Michael Beckwith at Agape, and you've probably seen him on this DVD called The Secret. He's the brother with the dreadlocks. That's my main minister. But I have a bishop also in Oakland named Bishop Keith Clark, and he gave me his first anointed ring and cross, right? And this man told me a story that I really wanted to share. It was one day before my mom passed, and he said that there was a barber, and the barber and his wife lived above the barber shop in an apartment. The wife was dying of cancer, and so the husband wanted to be upstairs to take care of her. So he spent half the day taking care of her, half the day cutting hair. But when he wasn't cutting hair, he'd leave a sign on the window that said, I'm still in business, just moved upstairs. Then his wife got so ill that he wanted to be with her 24/7. So he moved all the equipment literally into his apartment, the barber chairs, the sinks, everything, and cut hair right in his living room so he can peek in at his queen 24 hours a day, 24/7, check her out, look out for her. But he still left a sign downstairs on the window, said still in business, just moved upstairs. That's how my mama is. She's still in business. She just moved upstairs. And if we can remember that about our loved ones, then we'll remember that we always have our ancestors over us and guiding us and leading us. And we really can do the right thing if we choose. I can change my life at any moment I choose, but what moment shall I choose? That's the thing we have to remember. We can do it anytime we want to, and I watch it a lot. I watch people who claim to have been homeless. People used to say I was homeless. That was the funniest story. Forever, that myth still goes around everywhere. People think I was homeless because when I won Star Search, I gave half of the money to the homeless, and so people put 2 and 2 together and got 7. But as it turns out, is that I went to Venice Beach to be a millionaire. I was doing street performance in Chicago in '85, and I just realized that it was my calling to do comedy, and I did it, and white folks would come right up and hand me money, and I was like, damn, I like that. So when winter came, I couldn't tell no more jokes in December. Wasn't nobody trying to hear that shit on State Street. So I packed everything and came out to California. But I came to California to be a millionaire. But I got to California and discovered my brothers. I discovered the homeless people and the crack kids and regular folks who lived in the street. I was standing amongst them, telling jokes every weekend. And I realized that it's not about me. It's about me finding you. It's about me finding my brother. And until I find my brother, I really don't exist, because I'm not here, I'm at your place. But once I embrace you, then I become whole. So instead of trying to be a millionaire, I attempt to be a billionaire of being. I'm trying to be the greatest human I can possibly be. So instead of trying to make a living, I live my making, and my making shall make my living. So I went out the street and I would tell them jokes that I won a low 100,000 from Star Search, and I knew it was not about me, it's about my brother. So I gave half to the homeless. So people are like, oh, you know, he gave half to the homeless because he used to be homeless. My ass ain't never been homeless, okay? I ain't gonna never be homeless. Unless somebody hits me in my head and I lose my senses, I could be butt naked and broke today. I guarantee you. In 3 days, I'm gonna have some more cute shit. I'm gonna be driving. I'm gonna have someplace nice to live. Because God gave me a good sense of humor, a good mind. He gave me wisdom. He gave me Him. He gave me God. And so I can call on that energy and that power, and I can change it right now. Even they don't let me wait tables. God gave me the gift of standing in the street and talking shit. I can stand in a crowd of people and just tell jokes, talk shit, and pass my hat and make some money. If not, I'll figure out some other shit. I'll teach myself how to dance, get them out, jump up and down, rub my stomach and pat my head. I'm gonna do something where someone's gonna take care of me, but I will never be homeless, you know. Instead, my mission is to help the homeless, to help people who are less fortunate than we are. And that's all it's about, is our fortunes. Some fortunes are greater, some fortunes are less, but it's just where is the level of your fortune. We are greatly fortunate. You are greatly fortunate, man. You sitting here, you got your health, you know, you got paper in your hand. A lot of people don't own no paper. Shit, you got 3 pieces right there. In some countries, you're rich. You know what I'm saying? People talking about taking me to Cuba to do comedy. In Cuba, some of them people make $600 for the year. For the year. You know, you go over there with $1,000 in your pocket, you're like a millionaire. In Cuba, you can go downtown in some cities, and there's people who ain't made no money. You can get them $10 and it change their whole life. And look at you. You got a shirt, 2 shirts. Look at that shit. And a cross, and probably got jewelry you ain't wearing. So I'm just saying, we are very blessed. We wake up in the morning. I had a great friend who just transcended, named Butch Lewis, the great fight promoter, and he knew all the great people. He hooked a lot of us together. We all hung out together. Me, him, Denzel Washington, Leon, the actor, Joe Frazier, Michael Spinks. We were all a group of men that hung together. That guy was filthy rich with mansions and a Bentley, and he transcended a month ago. You know, he didn't wake up this morning. Don't you think he wish he had? Don't you think Michael Jackson, who had everything, wish he could be here today? Tupac, at 25, man, women was throwing coochie at him like it was a boomerang. He was wealthy and popular and loved. He ain't here today. We got up this morning, dude. We are wildly blessed, and we need to know that and emanate that to the world. That's all. I get some other stuff.
And this is Damon M. Cherry with Slapstick TV.
Say it slower so they can hear you.
And this is Damon M. Cherry with Slapstick TV.
Yeah.
Be sure to log on to latalklive.com every Tuesday from 3 to 5 p.m. for Michael Coylar's morning show, I Get Up Late. Please stay tuned for next week's episode with Judy Brown here on Slapstick.
Slapstick. Slapstick.
Slapstick.
Slapstick.
Slapstick.
Slapstick.
Slapstick.
Slapstick.
Slapstick.
Slapstick TV coming your way. Hey. Slapstick. Slapstick, shut it down. Slapstick, shut it down. Shut it down, Slapstick.
You can always reach me on Facebook. My Facebook is just my name, Michael Coylar, Colyar. You can email me at comicking123@aol.com. You can tweet me on Twitter. I'm still under my name, Michael Coylar, and I'm hireable. Yes, I am hireable. I didn't think I probably shouldn't do this on an interview, but my family going through something right now. No, I don't mind sharing that. We don't have a swimming pool at the house. Okay, now I know I don't swim, but I don't give a damn. Everybody else got a pool. We need a pool. Now I went on tour last year, made enough money to dig a hole in the backyard. All I'm trying to do right now is get cement money. That's all. So I want you to know I'm hireable. I do parties. I do all kind of parties. I do weddings, divorces, Passover, hangover. I do a party in a phone booth if you promise to call. I take green stamp, food stamp, Canadian money, EBT. I take your bus transfer if it's got some time left on it. That's Michael Coylar, Colyar. Holla if you know me. Pimpin'. Okay, thanks.